Hello everyone. Today I'm going to use the next 5 to 10 minutes to discuss how we can manage finance during a pandemic. During the pandemic, because of the economic uncertainty and lack of business activities, many financial institutions and lenders, such as banks and individuals, will be highly cautious about their money. They are often reluctant to lend, and the lenders who have previously agreed to issue the fund now decided to withdraw from the agreement in order to protect their cash. Businesses are likely to have a financial difficulty due to short of money supply and lack of investment. There will be a serious break in the credit chain in the company. So how can you keep your business moving in such scenario? So are you going to simply close down your business or just simply give up? So as we know, profit is equivalent to revenue minus cost. To maximize profit, you need to increase revenue and simultaneously reduce the costs. During the pandemic, break-even would mean a survival of your business. Break-even means profit is equal to zero. Therefore, your business makes no profit and no loss. Because of the lockdown and restrictions on business activities and operation hours, it will inevitably cause negative impact on the business revenues. If businesses are short of cash and already appears break in the credit chain, you have to look for new source of finance to inject money into the operating system of your business. You can try venture capital, which is a form of a private equity and a type of financing that investors provide to small business that are believed to have a long-term growth potential. So venture capital generally comes from a well-off investors, investment bank, and any other financial institutions. So the challenge is to prove to the investor that your business has a long-term sustainability. Alternatively, you can try business angel. Business angels are wealthy private investors who provide capital for young companies at the startup phase or during a level of expansion. Unlike venture capitalists, whose money is often pooled by investment firms, business angels usually invest their own fund. Again, you need to pitch to the private investors to show them why your business is a safe investment. Lastly, you can seek for government assistance during the crucial period. At the moment, government provide furlough to support business to pay their staff salaries up to 80%. If you are unable to secure any external funding from the lenders, the best thing that you can do is to minimize the costs. We have two types of costs in light of cost behaviors, including fixed costs and variable costs. A fixed cost is a cost that doesn't change with increase or decrease in the amount of goods or services produced or sold. Fixed costs are expenses that have to be paid by a company, independent of any specific activities. So in other words, a fixed cost is a cost that doesn't change with the increase or decrease in the amount of goods or services. So it will not change or they are not related to the level of output in the company. So if you look at the graph, it shows constant at a certain level. The level will depend on the amount of rent, electricity, water that your company has to pay every month. Typical examples of fixed cost are administrative costs and finance costs. The administrative staff's salaries are fixed in general, which is a good example of administrative costs. In relation to finance cost, these are the type of cost such as interest and other costs incurred by the company while borrowing funds. Let's look at variable cost. Variable cost is a corporate expense that change in proportion to production output. Variable cost increase or decrease depending on the company's production volume. They rise as the production increases and fall as the production decreases. So it depends on the company's production volume. Examples of variable cost include the cost of raw materials and packaging. So the more you produce, the more you have to pay the raw materials and the packaging. A variable cost can be contrasted with a fixed cost because variable cost they tend to respond to the level of output, whilst fixed costs are generally remain constant over a period of time. The variable cost can be illustrated by an upward slope in the diagram, showing that when there's no output, the variable cost will be zero, and the more you produce, the higher it will cost you. So therefore, it's an upward slope initiated from a point 0. You need to do your best to minimize the cost. If no business activities, your variable cost should be equal to 0. After you have tried by all means, if the business still struggles to survive, as long as the business can pay off the variable cost in the short term, then you should not give up on the business. In the long term, if the business still cannot cover the fixed cost, then you need to consider a shutdown. Shutdown points tend to be applied to reduce fixed costs. I hope you find my session is helpful to you. Thank you for listening.